5 Days to Balance Your Doshas, written by Estrella Martinez. As we begin Part 2, take a moment to notice how the body feels now. There is no need to measure change, no need to decide whether anything worked. Ayurveda does not ask for outcomes, it asks for awareness. In Part 1, we created the conditions for balance to begin returning through grounding, softening intensity, and gentle movement. These were not actions to complete, they were invitations. In this second part, we explore how balance is recognized, maintained, and returned to, without control or constant attention. Balance does not come from managing the doshas, it comes from responding to the body sooner and more kindly. Let's continue. This audiobook is for educational purposes only and is not medical advice. It does not replace care from a qualified healthcare professional. Please consult your healthcare provider before making health-related changes.
Day 4. Recognizing patterns without labels. Today is about awareness, not analysis, not categorizing, not deciding what anything means. Nothing is wrong with your body. Over the past few days, you may have noticed moments of ease or moments of resistance, perhaps both. Ayurveda does not rank these experiences, it listens to them. The body responds honestly when pressure is removed. If grounding felt relieving, that matters. If softening intensity brought space, that matters. If gentle movement restored a sense of flow, that matters. None of these responses define you. They are not identities. They are not diagnoses. They are signals, temporary and intelligent. In Ayurveda, doshas are not traits you are. They are patterns the body moves through in response to conditions: weather, stress, pace, demand, rest. The body is not fixed. Balance is not static. When we turn patterns into labels, the system often tightens. The mind begins to manage. The body begins to guard. When patterns are noticed lightly, the system softens. Today's support comes from recognition without naming, simply noticing what felt supportive, noticing what allowed the body to settle, noticing what brought relief without effort. This kind of noticing does not require memory, it does not require accuracy, it does not require follow-through. The body recognizes support immediately. The mind does not need to understand it. You may notice that the body prefers certain conditions today: quiet, warmth, space, or perhaps lightness and motion. These preferences do not need to be acted on, they only need to be acknowledged. Sometimes, awareness itself is the support. You might also notice uncertainty, a sense of not knowing what the body wants. This is not confusion, it is openness, and openness allows information to surface gently, without demand. Ayurveda does not rush this process. When awareness is calm, patterns reveal themselves naturally. When awareness is pressured, the body withdraws. There is no need to interpret anything today. No need to decide what tomorrow should look like. No need to apply what you've noticed. Awareness that is gentle stays longer than awareness that is forced. You may even notice resistance to observation itself. This is common. Many bodies have been monitored, corrected, or evaluated for a long time. When observation returns without expectation, the body may take time to trust it. Let that be. Nothing needs to open today. Nothing needs to resolve. Recognition alone creates space.
Day 5. Returning to balance, not maintaining it. Today is about continuity, not maintaining balance, not protecting it, simply returning to it. Nothing is wrong if balance feels imperfect today. In Ayurveda, balance is not a state the body holds indefinitely. It is something the body moves toward again and again in response to changing conditions. Life does not pause once balance appears. Stress returns, rhythm shifts, demands increase. This is not a problem to solve. It is the environment the body has always adapted to. Many wellness systems teach maintenance. They ask you to hold yourself in balance through constant attention. Ayurveda teaches something gentler. It teaches return. The body does not lose what it has learned. When supportive conditions have been experienced, even briefly, the system remembers them. That memory shortens the distance between strain and relief. You may notice that when tension appears now, you recognize it earlier. When fatigue arises, you respond with more kindness. When imbalance returns, it feels less confusing. These are signs of integration. Today's support comes from trusting responsiveness rather than effort. You do not need to apply everything you've heard. You do not need to repeat the reset exactly as it was. Balance responds best when it is approached lightly. When agitation appears, warmth or stillness may help. When intensity rises, space or softness may restore ease. When heaviness settles in, gentle movement may invite flow. One response is enough. The body recalibrates quickly when it is not overwhelmed by correction. This is why Ayurveda emphasizes simplicity. The more complex the response, the more energy is consumed. The body prefers small adjustments that restore rhythm without drawing attention to imbalance. You may also notice that your definition of balance has shifted. Less about control, less about perfection, more about responsiveness. This shift matters. Balance is not something you achieve and then protect. It is something you return to, again and again, without judgment. When return becomes familiar, effort decreases. When effort decreases, balance becomes more stable. Today is not about closing anything perfectly. It is about acknowledging what has already settled. You do not need to hold on to this reset. You do not need to recreate it. You only need to remember that the body responds when conditions change. That knowledge stays with you. As this day comes to a close, allow yourself to feel the steadiness that comes from understanding rather than doing. Let the body rest in the knowledge that balance is not fragile. It is responsive, and when life pulls you away from it, as it will, you now know how to return. Gently, without force, with trust. Nothing more is required. You can rest here.
Closing. Carrying balance into daily life. As we come to the end of this audiobook, take a moment to pause. There is nothing to complete, nothing to maintain, nothing to hold tightly. The body has already learned what it needed to learn. Ayurveda does not ask you to stay in balance forever. It understands that life moves, conditions change, and the body adapts constantly. Balance is not something you protect, it is something you return to. What you've practiced over these 5 days is not a reset you repeat exactly, it is a way of listening that stays with you. Before we close, here's a gentle day-to-day guide you can return to whenever the body feels unsettled. This is not a checklist, it is an orientation. You do not need to do everything. One point of support is enough. A gentle daily guide for balancing the doshas when the body feels unsettled, anxious, or scattered. Return to grounding. Allow warmth. Allow rhythm. Allow stillness. When the body feels unanchored, it is asking to feel held. Predictability, warmth, and slower pace restore safety without effort. You do not need to calm yourself. You need to let the body settle. When the body feels pressured, irritable, or overheated, return to softening. Create space. Reduce urgency. Ease expectations. When intensity builds, the system is asking for relief. Cooling happens when pressure decreases, not when discipline increases. Let sharp edges soften. When the body feels heavy, dull, or stagnant, return to gentle movement. Invite circulation. Change position. Allow lightness. When energy feels stuck, the body is not asking to be pushed, it is asking to be reminded that movement is safe. Engagement returns naturally when it is invited. When you're unsure what the body needs, return to listening. Notice what feels relieving. Notice what restores ease without effort. The body communicates through comfort, not urgency. You don't need to name the pattern. The response will be clear when pressure is absent. When life interrupts balance, return to one stabilizing condition: warmth, rhythm, stillness, gentle motion. You do not need to fix everything. Returning to one point of support is enough for the body to recalibrate. A final reflection. Doshas are not something to manage. They are responses to conditions. When conditions change, balance follows, often quietly, often without effort. This audiobook was not meant to give you something to do. It was meant to give you something to return to. You do not need to remember every word. Your body remembers what support feels like. That memory is enough. Thank you for listening with care. Thank you for allowing yourself to slow down. You can return to these recordings whenever the body asks. And for now, you can rest here. With love, Estrella.